I got like what I would call legally robbed. So we had a thing called no trade backs. You give someone a card, they give you a card, y'all trade.
That's it. It's
no,
done.
If they call no trade backs, that's legally binding. There's
True.
nothing you can do about that. You gotta fight him. You gotta fight to like get your card back.
Fight to the death.
Yeah, at that point, basically.
Now streaming Backseat Binge.
Take 745
Of this first episode. We're gonna get it.
We might. Let's not set our hopes high. Welcome, everyone, to the first episode of Backseat Binge. I am one of your hosts, Moya Media.
And I'm your other host, PortGas D, Sara.
And we are here to bring hot takes and interesting topics and opinions to you in the nerd space, pretty much involving anime, video games, comic book movies, all that jazz.
Mostly lots of opinions.
We
have a lot of them.
Yeah. Are they valid, though? That's what you got to stay for.
You can be the judge.
They're probably not. Anyway, so we almost called this show Canon Events.
We did.
And we did not because
the name was taken.
It was the name was taken. But that's not important. What is important is that the term Canon Events is a dope term. I like it. I like the idea of it.
Yeah.
It's not like a new term from like Spider-Verse or whatever.
Right.
But it's a solid idea. So I believe there's like canon events in all aspects of life, right? Mm-hmm. So like there's a canon event that turned you into a nerd. But before we get into that, I guess we need to define what is a nerd, right?
Yeah.
And I say that because like to me and like to you too, like we talked about it, it was a very obvious thing, right? Like, you know, something that is that is a nerd is like someone who plays video games, like watch anime. I talked to my sister about it whenever we like were making a podcast, where we were talking about the podcast.
Yeah. And
she had a whole different definition. She was like, well, what is a nerd? Do you mean like a bookworm? Do you mean like this, that, whatever, blah, blah, blah?
Huh.
So really weird to me. Like, I thought it was like straightforward. But like to you, what would you say a nerd is, like in our space, like in this realm of nerdism?
I would say anyone who's just very passionate about like a specific type of medium. So like it could be like anime or books or games, or like if they're just like super into it, like that's like their little nerdy thing.
Any type of medium. So they have to talk to dead people. I feel proud about that. Okay.
They could be nerdy about that. You never know.
About dead people?
About talking to dead people.
Okay. Yeah. Hit up Abe Leak and tell him we said thanks. But okay. So is there like would you say there's like a what's the word? Like a minimum or like a quota they have to hit to reach nerdism? Like they have to watch 5 anime or like?
I don't think so, because like I'm not usually one to like gatekeep things to be like, no, like you haven't done this, you don't count. Like if you're down with it, then like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
You do you. That's fine.
That's fair. I say that because like there's always these memes of like guys questioning girls like, oh, you play Call of Duty? Name every single character ever like in the Call of Duty. It's like, shut up. Like, stupid. But canon events, nerdism. I don't know if that's a word. It's a word now.
It is.
It's quality. Is it actually a word? Or
I don't know.
Okay.
We made it one.
Okay, it's mine. Trademark pending. But what would you say is your nerd canon event? Like something that made you who you are today.
Yeah.
That brought, I'm never going to finish what I was going to like something that brought shame upon your family.
Dishonor on your whole family. Yeah, I think I had a couple. My first one definitely was when I was in the 7th grade, when we read and watched The Outsiders.
Okay.
For some reason, that book and movie just like altered my brain chemistry. And my group of friends at the time, like, took it too far, honestly. Like, we were dressing up like the greasers. Like, every day I wore a jean jacket and Chuck Taylors. I had pictures of the cast of The Outsiders movie, like, everywhere. I had floppy disks, because, you know, we're kind of old.
Damn,
so I had
from the 1900s?
I had floppy disks just full of just pictures of the people from that movie. Like, it was insane.
I have so many questions.
And then I wrote a fan fiction sequel to The Outsiders. I did not need to do that. There is a literal sequel to The Outsiders already.
Is there?
Yes.
I don't know if I knew that.
It exists, and I just said, nope, I'm going to write my own and not let Johnny and Dallas stay dead.
Spoiler.
And the book is 50 years old. I don't think it counts as a spoiler.
You never know. It's that one slow reader in class. We all know that one. That was me.
But yeah, and I like, it's just now occurring to me that like, I made up like OCs, like original characters. Because like I was in it. It was a fan fiction of The Outsiders that was a self insert, and I like had a whole
starring PortGas D, Sara.
I was in it. You know the funniest thing? So obviously I got bullied a lot because of that.
Oh yeah, that's the only reason we're here now. So.
Literally 2 days ago, I got a message on Facebook from someone I went to high school with, and they sent me like a meme about The Outsiders, and they were like,
wow.
I hope I'm remembering correctly that you love The Outsiders. And I was like, oh my God, I still do. Like, this is so funny. And they were like, I'm not sure why I remember that, but I'm glad. And then I was like, I'm glad that my 7th grade obsession is my legacy. Like, this is so wonderful.
That's on your permanent record. Like,
it is.
That's,
it is.
You're going to be on your obituary, your tombstone. Like,
Yep.
Your kids will be known.
It'll be obsessed with The Outsiders, co-host of Backseat Binge podcast.
Oh man, so many questions.
Yep.
Number one, why?
I can't explain. I don't know. It just genuinely took over my brain. Like I would come home from school every day and watch the entire movie.
You watched it like multiple times.
Every day.
Oh damn.
Every day. Like, I'm at a point now where I can't watch it more than, like, once, like, a year or two, because I've seen it.
Funny.
And even if I watch it now, I still know it off by heart. Like,
that's funny. I don't even know if we've seen the movie, to be honest. I know we read the books.
It's a very good movie.
Did I see the movie? I have pictures in my head. I don't know if I made those pictures up from the words that I read, or, like...
It's like, Patrick Swayze, Rob Lowe, Tom Cruise, Ralph Macchio...
Tom Cruise. How old is this movie?
1983, I think it came out. Yeah.
I don't know. I'll have to. I don't know.
It was a breakout role for pretty much all of them.
Oh, yeah.
So like, you know, no big deal. It's fine.
No big deal. It's just what set me on this path. Okay. So yeah, fan fiction. All right. So I'm gonna say anyone who writes fan fiction for anything ever.
Yeah.
Is a nerd, 100%.
Yeah.
That's like the nerdiest thing. But, so, all right. So give me some more like other canon events, because you said that was your first one.
Yeah, that was definitely the first one. In terms of like anime, I would say for me it was watching Naruto Shippuden for the first time.
Of course, gateway anime.
Yeah, and the episode where we find out that we were wrong for ever hating Itachi. It was another one of those, like, my brain just, like, and I was like, oh my God, like, I'm in this for life.
Wait, so thinking about that was like a lot of episodes you had to watch to get to that point. So it was like, what, 200 or 300 in regular Naruto? Mm-hmm. And then maybe like another 100, 150?
Something like that, yeah.
Okay. And at that point, that's when it was like, nah, it's a wrap. I gotta watch this for the rest of my life now until it's over.
Yeah, well, not till it's over, because I'm not gonna watch Boruto, but I'm not gonna watch any more Boruto.
You know,
but...
this is currently a timeline where that doesn't exist.
Okay, fair enough. This is Boruto erasure, and we're gonna stand on it. Okay,
100% hot take number 1. But all right, so that was your first anime.
It wasn't my first anime. My first anime was Death Note.
Oh. Okay.
And that was incredible. And then it was Code Geass, and then Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. I want to say Erased was somewhere in my first couple.
Okay.
Tokyo Ghoul also was pretty early on. But yeah, Naruto was, since my boyfriend knew it was a longer one, he wanted to get like some shorter ones like under my belt before. And even when I started Naruto, like I took a break because I was like, this kid is really annoying. I don't really. So he had to tell me that Sasuke became a villain. And I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. Like,
you needed the hook.
And
like,
then and then obviously I watched the rest of it and was like, oh, this is my favorite thing.
Yeah. I actually like Naruto early, even though it gets way better like later on. But like, I don't know. It's like, I think the simplicity of it is like kind of nice.
Yeah, I think because we started rewatching it recently and like watching it again, like knowing everything now, I'm like, oh, okay, this is so wonderful.
It's so peaceful. They were so happy back then. Okay, so reason I asked if this was your first anime because most people like at least around like back in the day, it was like Dragon Ball Z was that was the gateway anime.
Yeah,
and like Dragon Ball Z was so good, we didn't even know we were watching anime.
Right. It was just a show that came on and people watched it and loved it.
Yeah, we just used to fight and like try to shoot Kamehameha waves at each other.
Trying to fly because they made it sound so attainable.
They explained it using science.
Yeah.
Like it made sense.
Yeah.
I tried it. It didn't work. So okay, but that's pretty dope. I want to say I always forget my girlfriend's first anime. I think it's like Demon Slayer or something
Okay.
I don't remember. Either way, we recently watched Naruto, and same exact thing. Like she hated Naruto at first.
Yeah.
Not even the show, the character.
Yeah.
And eventually, after a while, like she got like really into it, so it worked out. But she learned quickly not to get attached to people. Because Jiraiya and all that was a problem. We don't talk about that in this house.
He's alive in our hearts.
Yes,
you know what?
That's all that matters. All right, go on.
And then so I watched all of like the Marvel movies during lockdown. Because my boyfriend was like, okay, like you've watched a bunch of anime, like I really think you're gonna like the Marvel movies, and I was like, I don't care about superhero movies. And then I think we just started with Iron Man, and I was like, oh, like I had seen it before, but like not when I was paying attention to it. Right. So I was like, all right,
watching it.
Yeah. But like actually watching it, I was like, oh, okay. Like this is... And then I would say for like Marvel wise, my canon event, and I know it's not going to be a popular one because people don't like him as much, but was Captain America: The First Avenger.
Oh, the movie.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Watching that movie, I was like, oh, okay. Like, I'm in. I'm sold. I'm seated.
So wild to me. Like, I'm not trying to hate on the movie. It's just... I try to watch that movie so many times.
Yeah.
I don't know what happens in that movie because every single time after like 10 minutes, I zone out.
I think you told me the one time that you stopped watching because he was running barefoot through Brooklyn.
That's the wildest thing to me. Granted, it was a different time, but like, yo, New York is dirty.
I was gonna say, you being from New York,
like I'm not. There is nothing. I'm not chasing anything barefoot. I'm sorry. Like, not. Super Soldier and all, like I'm good. Like that's the one that is by far the most unbelievable part of that movie. That's like fair. I don't care about the Red Skull or the Tesseract or anything. Him running barefoot through Brooklyn, nah, false.
Yeah, it was funny because my boyfriend is a very big Tony Stark fan.
Okay.
So from the get-go, he was like, yeah, like Captain America, like he's just a guy, like he doesn't have tech like Tony or anything. And then we watched that movie, and I was like, yeah, that's a mate. Like, he's just a guy. Like, that's awesome. Like, he knows he doesn't stand a chance, but he's still going to try because he knows he has to. And my boyfriend was like, I never thought about it that way. And I was like, yeah, that's why he's great. He doesn't need Tony's tech. He's just all heart. And I love that. Like,
for someone who doesn't stand a chance, he be standing a hell of a chance. He be standing.
Exactly. Standing on all 10 toes. Like,
all of them.
He's there.
Outside.
Yep.
No feet. I mean, no shoes.
Barefoot in Brooklyn.
That makes me so mad. I don't like people barefoot. Like,
I don't either, honestly.
Just, put something, cover your feet. You can step on something. It bothers me. But, okay. That also is surprising because you said, you're hot. I'm going to consider that a hot take. Like, that's what got you into the Marvel movies. It's the first Captain America movie. Mm-hmm. And that, like, a lot of people don't like that movie.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't like Captain America as much as the other Avengers, which, like, fine.
Yeah.
You know.
I agree with half of that. I can't stand that movie. It's not even that. It's one of those things, like, it's a chore to watch to me. I don't know what it is. It's not even bad, to be honest. It's just boring. That's pretty much it. But I actually like Captain America a lot. But question I want to ask is because you said your boyfriend is Iron Man fan, right? Or Tony Stark fan.
Yeah.
Is he a fan of Tony Stark or Robert Downey Jr.?
Both.
Okay, that was...
Yeah.
I don't know. For some reason, I expected an explanation or something. You see, back in 2007, like...
Well, so he has talked at length about how, like being Iron Man was, like, a comeback for Robert Downey Jr. and, like, how amazing his, like, how wild his life has been and, like, how great he's been since then. And, like...
Yeah.
Iron Man, like, jumps... technically, Blade is what started the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but Iron Man... is what gave it the boost. So
right.
Yeah.
Okay. The reason I ask is I like what is his name? Captain America.
Chris Evans.
Chris Evans. I was like, there's Evans somewhere in his name. I like Chris Evans, but I don't necessarily like Captain America, the character.
That's fair. Yeah.
Like, I like MCU's Captain America.
Yeah.
But I don't care about him in pretty much any other format.
Yeah, that's fair. I think.
Like,
yeah. I think I would probably agree.
Same with same with Iron Man.
Yeah.
Like I've played like a bunch of different games with him and like certain comics. Like certain comics I don't mind him, but like for the most part I don't care about the character.
Yeah.
But
like for me it was always like watching his movies to me was a chore because he was always just so like selfish and I was like, oh my god, like when is he gonna get his shit together? So like I was always very annoyed watching Iron Man movies and I would be like, he's doing a very good job acting, I just don't like what he's doing. Like,
I don't like what he's acting.
Exactly. He's doing a good job but I don't like it.
Okay. How do you feel about him now, like the Iron Man character?
Oh, I mean, I like that his story really came full circle. Like I think that it was shocking and I think that it was really good. Like I definitely did not see the end of his story coming the way that it did, but I really enjoyed it.
That's fair. Don't know if he should have been strong enough to wield all 6 Infinity Stones, but we'll cross that bridge later.
Yeah, there's that. I never thought about it until you said it, but yeah, like he.
Granted, he has tech and
but still,
yeah.
Yeah.
Because even Hulk with the what's it called, with the same tech, I assume, was struggling to snap.
And that's the Hulk.
Yeah.
I would assume he's a lot stronger than Iron Man.
A little bit, a little tiny
just
bit,
a smidge.
Yeah. But back to the topic at hand, canon events. So we talked about your weird obsession with Outsiders. Talked about anime, and then that's what got you into Marvel. Yeah. Watching the first Avenger. What is your gaming canon event?
I don't know that I really have one yet.
Cool. So starting tomorrow, we're gonna start playing Zelda. I'm gonna take you through the entire timeline. I need you to clear your schedule.
Okay, I'll just call off work right now
for the next 2 months.
Okay,
cool.
Sounds good.
Got it.
I've played there's a game on my PC that I bought called Unpacking, and you literally you name your character, and then you literally just go through like every home that they live in, and you just unpack and like organize their stuff, and it's so like soothing to my brain.
It's a game. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yep.
It's a game where you unpack.
Yep.
That's it.
That is correct.
Certain things instantly make me mad. I don't know what it is. Like, I probably need therapy. I'm not gonna lie. But like, cause like, why? I hate unpacking in real life.
Oh, so do I.
Then why?
I cannot explain it. It's okay. So like the music is very like chill and like just relaxing. So if I just like get lost in like putting stuff away, and the music is just like calming me, and I'm like this is just so chill. It's nice.
So you have to like take your shirt and put it in a drawer, like hang up your pants, or do you have to put your shirt in the drawer? Can you put it in the hanger? Do you have to fold it? Do you have to Do you have options?
So there are some things that you have options with, but there are also some things, like once you have all the stuff in one room unpacked, everything that's in the wrong place will like highlight in red, and then you have to put it where it's supposed to be.
Oh, so you have to designate
like if there's like a box from the kitchen in like the bedroom, then that stuff is obviously in the wrong space.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
See, one of the reasons I hate moving, and I've done it so often in my life, is that alone. Like I used to pack things that make sense, but like pretty much everything. Next time we move, everything in this room is going in one box. Not nicely, just like
it's gonna be in there.
Yeah, just shoving it in and hoping that nothing breaks. I'm not gonna try. I'm not gonna make sure it's good because I'm kind of over it. But unpacking is so much worse than packing to me.
Agreed.
Because like there's no sloppy way of doing it. Like I have to pick something up and put it where it's supposed to go. Like I can't be lazy about that.
Right.
So I'm glad you like it. The game at least.
Yeah.
Unpacking the game.
And then the other game that I've played is Cult of the Lamb.
Okay.
Which is so much fun because they look so cutesy and they just like do their little, like when they're just standing there, they just kind of do and then you have to like make them like kill themselves for the cult or something.
Okay. So I never actually played the game, but I know of it.
It's so much fun.
So I didn't know if that. Okay. So would you consider yourself, I mean, I'm guessing the answer is probably no, but you know how there was like that whole, what is it called? The aesthetic is like the aesthetic gamer and like the, comfy gamer. I forget the exact term. Do you know what I'm talking about at all? They play like a lot of like slice of life games, like Animal Crossing and stuff like that.
I actually never got into Animal Crossing, mostly because I was poor when lockdown hit and I couldn't afford a Switch. So I was like, all right, I guess I won't do this.
Yeah, that was the best time for Animal Crossing to drop.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I think it came out like a month into COVID.
It's almost like they knew something was coming.
It's almost like they started something. So I have a question. Speaking of COVID, and I'm gonna get back to what I was getting at beforehand. You ever think about the fact that COVID might have been the case because a time traveler from the year 2095 went back to 2019 and stepped on a worm, and that catapulted COVID to starting?
Well, now I'm thinking about it that way.
As you should. I feel like these are the questions that need to be brought up because, like, I just thought about this the other day, and I was like, "Yo, what if that happens?"
At this point, the government confirmed there's aliens, so like,
and none of us care.
Right. At this point, like, okay, there might as well be. Like, they might as well show up here.
I want to get this episode out because, like, if I just happen to go missing, just know I was right.
Right.
Just know I called it. Unless they go back in time and like stop this episode from airing or something like that. But yeah, the term I'm thinking of, I think it's like cozy gamer or something like that. They play like a whole bunch of slice of life games and like things like that. I try to get into Animal Crossing too, and I just don't have it in me. You need a really like strong attention span to play that game. Yeah,
I know my sister plays it a lot and really likes it. So she has, I guess, more of an attention span than I do.
Yeah, I think you just, I don't even know what you need. Because, like, every single time because I try to play it like 3 different times. Like 3 different games. Like 3 different Animal Crossing games.
Oh, there's more than one? I thought it was just the one game and it was Animal Crossing.
Oh, no. There is a whole franchise.
There's a whole universe.
There's an
ACU.
Yes. Animal Crossing universe. Yes. It really is. And I think the first one might have been on like Nintendo 64 or GameCube. I don't remember.
Oh, really?
But yeah, it goes way back. There's been an Animal Crossing on pretty much every Nintendo
I did
system.
not know that.
Yeah, they've been here for a long time.
Huh. Interesting.
And they're all the same game. So I tried on the DS, and I think there might have been one on the Wii U. I don't remember. But definitely the one on the Switch is the one I tried to get in the most.
Yeah.
And it's fun for the first like 2 hours because like you get to do a whole bunch of stuff, and then you kind of have to wait till the next day.
Oh, gotcha.
Because like realistic, like you're supposed to wait like an actual 24 hours to do like a lot of stuff.
Oh,
like,
I wouldn't like that.
Yeah, when they say like come back the next day, they mean the next day.
No, I want to do my stuff when I'm here and have the time to do it. I don't want to
Exactly.
wait for it. Yeah.
So I mean, a lot of like I assume what a lot of people did. It was what I did, 100%. I would just change the time on my system. But come back the next day. Okay. 5 minutes later, hey, I haven't seen you in 2 days. But even with doing that, like I don't know, it was just like I realized I just want to play The Sims. Like I want to have everything
That's
right
fair.
then and there.
Yeah.
And like I'm sure Animal Crossing is fun if you really, really get into it. But
Yeah.
I've never gotten past like playing more than like 4 or 5 hours on
Yeah.
any game. So like it's one of those games you have to put in a lot of time into.
Yeah, because
So,
you get to like make your own island, right?
Yeah.
Okay. See, like that part would be fun, I think.
Yeah.
But then like that only lasts a certain amount of time, and then it's built, and then like
Yeah. I mean, there's the things that you're able to do once you're like pretty much set up in life is dope.
okay,
I built the island. Obviously, I called it Wakanda.
obviously, I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry. You're allowed. You're good here.
Okay.
I'm gonna take a screenshot of that. Set that as your contact.
God, please do.
PortGas D, Sarah's calling. But that instant regret. Anyway, yeah, name my island Wakanda because duh,
Obviously.
and that's like the most I've did with that. Wakanda's empty as hell.
There's no vibranium there.
They got it all. It's been colonized. but okay, so yeah, definitely The Sims. There is I don't know if you've seen Dream. I forget what it's called. Valley. It's a Disney game. It's Disney
Okay.
Animal Crossing.
Oh.
And it appeals to me a lot more, but I realized I just don't like that genre. Like, because
Gotcha.
same exact thing. 10 minutes in, like 2 hours into it, and I was kind of like over it.
Huh.
But like that game is different because you can do stuff. Like, there's a lot of stuff to do that you don't need to wait the full like whatever
Okay.
for.
Yeah.
It's like pretty much continuous.
Gotcha.
But all right, so all the way back off from the tangent that I just went on about video games. Clearly, I'm the gamer of the podcast. But so those are your 3 canon events, right?
Yeah.
4, I guess, because
Yeah.
you don't really play games all like that, right?
Yeah, not really.
Yeah.
I would like to. Like, my boyfriend really wants us to play Baldur's Gate together because he played it through once and he's playing it through again, like as a separate game, and he did like a totally different character. So he's like having a lot different experiences than he was the first time. So he wants us to play through together also because he would like explain the story to me, and I was like, that sounds really interesting. So
Okay, I need him to explain to me the story too, because I want to get into Baldur's Gate, and I tried, and that was it. That was it. I just tried.
wanted to, tried. End of story.
Yeah, that's the end. But I have some friends who are like trying to get me into it, so I think I will play it at some point. But if I had to go into my canon events,
Yeah, what are yours?
my events of canons, I would say for video games, because that's like the most prominent thing for me. I consider myself a gamer above everything else. That pretty much happened at birth. Like pretty much,
Yeah.
came out the womb with a controller in my hands. I don't know who put it there, but I've been watching my brother play games since I was like a child.
Yeah.
He used to play Zelda Ocarina of Time, which is like that's like the gateway
explains
Zelda
it.
game. Yeah. Yes. I could have been selling drugs, but instead I played Zelda.
you were playing
and
Zelda.
Now I'm hooked on a different type of drug.
Exactly.
It's Zelda. I'm not. It's Zelda. But anyway. Yeah. So he used to play. I used to watch him play a lot, and he used to play like a lot of the bosses and whatnot.
Yeah.
And being like, I don't know, 6, I think I was, watching him do all the like fighting the bosses, because I don't know if you played that game. The bosses in that game are scary.
Oh yeah.
Like not even hard, scary. Like I think I told you before, there was like a boss where not even a boss, it's just an enemy. He just exists. It's shaped like a hand,
You did tell me about this. I don't like it.
but life-sized.
No.
and I forget the enemy is called. Basically, in certain temples, because I think he appears in 2 different temples of the game. You would hear a sound like a, and that sound would signify that he's about to come down, grab you, and take you to the afterlife.
No, I don't like that at all.
Scary as hell. The sound alone was traumatizing.
I don't like it.
And he only does a little bit of damage. I'm not gonna lie. He doesn't really hurt that much.
Yeah.
But from the point of view of me being 6, I'm like, not, because you can't outrun it.
Right.
You have to like just hope you dodge at the right second or something.
Right. It's all just psychological. You know he's coming.
Nah, it was.
You gotta get out the way.
Trauma.
Yeah. Yep.
Don't like it. Love the game though. So I've been a Zelda fan like ever since then.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's like there's that game, and then there's like Breath of the Wild, which came out like a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Those are the only 2 games like my brothers has played. Meanwhile, I've played like every single Zelda game since. Got kind of a problem. Bought a whole bunch of manga and like whatnot. Either way, so that pretty much started that for me. I've been playing like games of all types, but I'm mainly a Nintendo fan.
Yeah.
But I do have like a PlayStation and PC now, so I'm trying to get the best of all the worlds.
Okay. Do you have like an anime canon event?
Anime canon event. So back in the ghetto, we used to, I don't know why I said it like that. Back in my childhood, we used to like watch Dragon Ball Z, but like we didn't really know we didn't know what anime was.
Right.
So we just all were into Dragon Ball Z and Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon as well.
Oh yeah.
So those were things that we were all like, we played like Pokemon cards, we played Yu-Gi-Oh cards. None of us knew how to play Yu-Gi-Oh, like actually.
But you had the cards.
We had the cards and we attempted to play. Because I don't know if you've seen the show, like.
No, I don't know anything about Yu-Gi-Oh, actually.
Okay, so in this show, you look back at it, which is actually a pretty bad show. It's not good, I'm sorry. It's so cheesy and bad. But like, the cards would have like no words on them in the show.
Oh. And
they would like play them and they'll be like, this card lets me automatically win. Like, how do you just made that up? like where's the rule book on this? Like, he's just freestyling.
Yeah.
But so that was always something that was funny to me. Like in real life, like they would have like the description, like the effect, what this card does and all that stuff.
Gotcha.
So we used to play that. I do vividly remember getting robbed for like my holographic Charizard card.
No.
Because like Pokemon was like we played Yu-Gi-Oh a lot, but I would say Pokemon was bigger for us.
Yeah.
All the kids in school, and I got like what I would call legally robbed.
Please explain this to me.
So for all y'all who played, like, let me know if I'm bugging or if this is like just my specific like neighborhood was just stupid the way we operated. So we had a thing called no trade backs. Basically, you give someone a card, they give you a card, y'all trade.
That's it. It's done.
If they call no trade backs, that's legally binding. There's nothing you can do about that. You got to fight him. You got to fight to like get your card back.
Fight to the death.
Yeah, at that point, basically. So it wasn't a Charizard. It was like a Machamp or something like that. It was a shiny Pokemon. That's all, like a holographic card. It was worth like value.
Yeah.
Someone traded back or whatever. They said no trade back and ran. I'm thinking, that's suspicious. Huh. I'm sure they're late for something. I'm not going to worry about that.
So they still have that card now and they just sold it for like $10,000.
Probably, but the part that is messed up is because like the card they gave me was of equal value at the time, right?
Okay.
Until like, I don't know, like my ancestors just whispered in my ear, hold it to the light. So I did. I put the card up to the sky. It's see-through. That means it's fake.
Yeah.
I got.
Oh no.
I was so mad. I don't think I've seen that person again. Or at least I don't remember. I blocked them from my memory or something because
they fled the country.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take this card and hide it away for 20 years.
They're like in Cuba now or something.
Yeah.
Either way, that's what we call legally got, because like they're technically not wrong. They're mad wrong, but
they called no trade backs.
No trade backs. It was a wrap. There's nothing I could do. I gotta fight them.
The rules.
Yeah. But so anime. I do that a lot. I'm Moy, what's the time? So let me tell you one time it was 7 o'clock and I was like, so I would say like Dragon Ball Z, Pokemon, all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like I watched as a kid, but I didn't consider myself an anime fan because I didn't know what that word was.
Right.
I would say Naruto was a show I watched passively. I kind of knew what anime was at the time because like I was watching it when it was live.
Okay, yeah.
Back in the 1900s. I don't know when the show came out. But I would watch it passively. Like it was a show to watch. It was like kind of like how someone watches Family Guy or something like that. Like you're not really paying attention to the story.
But it's on.
Yeah. I would say in college is when I met like a lot of anime friends and whatnot that I'm still cool with to this day. And they kind of started to put me on to like certain things. And they suggested I watch like Naruto, like actually watch it.
Yeah.
So I did. I went back and watched it. And I was like, yo, this is dope. Like, this is not the show I watched as a kid. Because like, or at least not the show I paid attention to.
Yeah.
Because that was, I don't know, Naruto was putting in work. But... So that got me into anime, kind of. I started watching stuff here and there. And then I would say more recently is when I started to get like really, really into anime.
Yeah, you've been watching a lot of it recently. I wanted to say lately and recently at the same time.
Recently.
Exactly.
I watched, I've been binging stuff, mainly to talk about like for the show or whatnot. And before, like, pretty much up until this point, I used to always say, like, I'm not really an anime fan. I'm a fan of certain anime.
Right.
Because, like, I haven't watched, like, a whole bunch. Like, I watch, like, pretty much the most popular ones for the most part. And now that I've watched a good bit more, I'm still not an anime fan. I felt like same exact thing. Like, there are shows that, like, I watch that I like. But, like, I wouldn't say I'm a fan of the entire genre as a whole. Because, like... I don't dislike the genre. I just like whatever. Like if the show's good, it's good. If it's not, it's not. Like that's kind of how I see it.
You're still like a casual watcher.
Yeah, basically. Okay. So that I would say is pretty much my canon event for anime.
Okay.
Gaming, I did that.
What about like Marvel or like comic book related stuff?
Okay.
I guess we can throw DC in there too.
Right. The child we don't talk about.
Yeah. Redheaded stepchild.
Yeah. So I would say my sisters or my brother, someone that I'm related to, used to always take me to the movie theaters to see like all the like X-Men, Spider-Man movies. Same thing with like Naruto, like how I used to watch it passively. Like I'd watch it to watch it because like I thought they were cool or whatnot.
Right.
But I wasn't like trying to connect the dots and like seeing how this movie relates to that movie and like the timeline and all that stuff. So I would say I didn't really like really get into it. Other than Batman, Dark Knight, because that was my movie. Yeah,
that's fair.
That was like my favorite movie until like the MCU pretty much started. Like I watched the Iron Man movies. I tried Captain America. And
the first of many tries.
Yeah. I seen Thor, Hulk, and all those were cool or whatnot. But like I didn't really start to care and like really get interested in it until like there were rumors of an Avengers movie coming out with like all the characters coming along and like, you know, being like whatever, like connected. And then like I think like I watched them again, those movies or whatever, and I started to notice certain things like trying to see like how this connects to that and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And when the first Avengers movie came out, which not gonna lie, I expected that movie to be garbage, like 100%. I don't know what it was. Like the trailer just did not make it look good.
Gotcha.
And boy, was I wrong.
Yeah, I love that movie.
Yeah, that's definitely still one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, for sure.
And that pretty much solidified it for me. And like I was like, yeah, Marvel can take all of the money I earn from this point on because they can have it all.
Yeah. Can I throw another Marvel related hot take in?
Please do.
The Incredible Hulk movie by Edward Norton is a really good movie.
I really like it.
I don't know why everyone shits on that movie. It is a really good movie.
I like it.
I watched it and I was like, why do people hate this? It's actually really good. Like, I also just love Edward Norton as an actor. So, that's like, fair. If he's in something, I'm like, cool, I'm sold. But, like, I really enjoyed that movie.
I did too. I thought it was dope. Like, I'm trying to remember why, like, what the complaints are about that movie. Know. But yeah, a lot of people, that movie does get a lot of hate.
Yeah, and I don't think that it should.
We need to sign it. We need to start a petition and like, you know, get the the public to take back their
Y'all are wrong and you need to
Yes.
admit it.
hot take. Hot take number 2 or 3. I don't know. I was never
I don't
counting.
know.
But all right, cool. Yeah, I like that movie a lot. And then that also, the Avengers movie.
Yeah.
Actually, it was a canon event for like a handful of things for me, because like that also made me want to get into film.
Okay. Yeah.
And like it made me want to become a video editor and like kind of get into Hollywood and be like a camera person or whatnot. Didn't happen, but it started it. Now I own cameras. And it also got me into reading comics and whatnot too.
Yeah.
So I didn't know comics were still a thing.
Yeah, I honestly didn't either until I started watching the Marvel movies, and then I was like, oh, these are all from like, I don't know, like the 60s. My boyfriend was like, no, like these still are coming out. And I was like, what?
Same exact thing. I had the same thought process. I'm like, yo, like, there's no way they're like, I've never seen a comic book on sale anywhere. I never went to Target and saw comics. And then like, I found out there was like an app that sold like Marvel comics and whatnot, and there's a bunch of like comic book stores and whatnot. So I kind of feel like comics, I don't know like how true this is, but I feel like comics died down pretty much until that MCU came back.
Yeah.
So, and that kind of like brought everything back up as far as like popularity and whatnot.
Right, because obviously people wanted to know what was going to happen with characters, or just like read more about them. Because I mean, I'm sure there's so much like source material for all of them by this point. That people just want to read like all of the stories.
It's cool now though, because I can't really relate to most fans, because like a lot of these stories are based on stories that I didn't even know about until after the movie gets announced.
Yeah.
But there was like, I can't remember offhand, but there was a movie that came out somewhat recently. It might have been like a Phase 4, Phase 5 film that was based on a comic from like within the last 10 years or whatnot. I don't remember what it was, but I remember thinking like when this came out, I was like, oh, that stuff, I know about this kind of. And I'm pretty sure it wasn't a good film, but but it didn't matter. But I would say also my last canon event is cosplay, because I do that. I does that now.
Yeah.
And that's pretty funny to me, because my friends, I had 2 friends that I met from school, like college. And I would say like 2 years after I graduated, they were both trying to get me to go to this convention. And it was a cosplay convention. I want to say, no, it was an anime convention. I mean, still cosplay. But they were saying that's so much fun and it's enjoyable and I'll like it. And I just looked at them through the computer, because it was on Discord. And I stopped and I said, you dorks, I'm not like going to cosplay. Like, I'm not cosplaying. What the hell's wrong with you? I'm going to dress up as like
I'm not going to an anime convention.
Hell? Like, I'm a nerd. I ain't that bad. Damn. Like, dude, I shower. I use deodorant. Like, I'm not qualified to do this. So like they spent like, I don't know, 2-3 years trying to get me to go to these conventions.
Yeah.
And the whole time, like, I just thought nothing but the worst of like a whole bunch of like, just like the most nerdy people you can think of, like who don't shower, who don't like do anything but like play whatever all day,
live in their mom's basement, still.
Like just doing the absolute like nothing. Dressed up as like little girls or something like that.
Dressed up like Sailor Moon, or something.
Not to shame anyone who was like in that category. I'm just saying, like, that's at that back in the day, I would have shamed you for that, 100%. But so that happened, right? And maybe like a year after, like they spent like 2-3 years trying to convince me to go. I had a friend named Kale who's going to be on here next month. Yeah,
cool.
She and I'm gonna bring this up to her whenever she's on. Me and her made a joke, right? We were saying that like this was, I want to say March. We both talked about how like she should dress up as Storm and not to dress up as Black Panther for Halloween. It was a joke when it came out, right? Like when we said this. And at the time, you know how like you make a joke with someone and over time it gets serious? Like, you're like, it'd be funny if we did that. But what if we did it though?
What if we actually did it?
Right. So after a while, like it got more and more serious, and I started to design like a Black Panther costume, because this was actually before the Black Panther movie.
Oh, okay.
And I think before Civil War too. So like Black Panther wasn't even in the MCU at this time.
Gotcha. Okay.
I actually bought that helmet right there, which does not fit my dome at all. Because that's a one size fit all, except for any size other than that size. Like it's it was
one
like
size fits everyone except Moya.
Yeah, exactly, 100%. Because my head's big, but so me and her designed a costume, and we eventually decided to go to New York Comic Con.
Okay.
And we did that, and I will say, I walked in, right? You never been to New York Comic Con, have you?
I have not. I really want to go.
Put that on your bucket list.
One of these years.
After you play every single Zelda game, put that on your list, and you need to go. Because I will go with you. I will we will travel and go there because it's fun as hell. I walked into the Javits Center, right? Mm-hmm. It was probably, I took, 20 steps through the door. Yeah. After waiting two hours online. One person comes up to me, asks me for a picture. I say, sure. Another person asks me a picture. I say, sure. I stood in that spot for 3 hours, yo. So many people kept coming up to me and asking me for pictures.
Wow.
I didn't get anywhere. I just walked in.
That's like such a confidence boost. It was an ego
confidence boost. I felt like all the trauma in my life was worth it for this moment. I made it finally. It was such a dope ego boost. Yeah. And a whole bunch of people just I was in the middle of a circle, and people just kept asking me over and over and over. And because I don't know if you've been to conventions, you see one person take a picture, and then everyone starts taking the picture.
Everyone who was too shy is oh well, they're doing it, so I can do it now too.
Exactly. Yeah. That's exactly what happened to me. And then they seen the storm right next to me, so we just had a whole bunch of pictures taken, and it was a good time. It was a good confidence boost. I have never had that happen to me since. That was a catfish. That was a lie. Because I've had way better cosplays. Yeah. And not once have I had that amount of attention. Not even close. Yeah. That was my peak. But that also was the catalyst that started my cosplay journey, I guess. Because conventions, I realized, one, not for nerds. They're for pretty much anyone. Yeah. You don't need to know anything about anything.
And you can still go and have a great time.
An amazing time. Yeah. My girlfriend and I went to ColossalCon, which is the water park convention.
I need to go to that one too.
That's pretty fun. Yeah. That's really fun. In that convention, so there's categories. Mm-hmm. So Comic Cons are, in my opinion, more family friendly. Those are where you focus on panels and cosplays and stuff like that. Just it's a good time. Things close at 7 or 8 or whatnot.
Yeah, you go there more for the guests and the panels and all that kind of stuff. Not to get crazy.
Right. Anime cons are have you been to anime cons? Have you?
I've been to Techo.
Okay, so I'm gonna say no. Anime cons are pretty much college for nerds who are trying to live out their best lives now. Okay. So it's pretty much everything is 24/7.
And when you say college, you mean IUP specifically? Specifically
IUP. Specifically. There's nothing productive happening that weekend. Absolutely nothing. It's so much fun. It's so much the nerds are lit, yo. Yeah. They're I don't know, it's just nothing but partying and dancing and socializing, and everyone there, I'm pretty sure, has been bullied. So they're all super open-minded and level-headed, and it's just a good time.
We're all just trauma bonding.
100%. It's really unhealthy, but it's so fun.
It works.
Everyone but Asia, because she's
cheaper
never
than therapy. Yeah. Probably not cheaper than therapy, but we can pretend.
It's also not as healthy as therapy, but that doesn't matter, because in the moment it feels good.
Yes.
But seriously, it's super opening and welcoming and all that stuff, and it's just really fun. Mm-hmm. So you don't need to be a nerd at all, and I didn't know that. That's what my friends were trying to tell me, but I ain't trust them, so I ain't go. And then I've started to go with them since then, and that's pretty much what that's what kind of why I cosplay now, because not that you have to cosplay to go to these conventions, but
it makes it fun if you do.
Yeah, and I'm also trying to chase that high again.
You gotta get that same level again.
One day I will. I feel like I have to be a celebrity at this point to get that attention again, because man, good times. Yeah. But yeah, those are our canon events.
Yep.
What would you say is the most impactful or the most like prominent for you?
I mean, like, they all were very impactful for like different reasons, because like the Outsiders one like helped me channel my love for like writing,
Right.
which I still do sometimes.
Which reminds me, thank you for writing the bios for the show.
I do my best. And then like the anime one obviously was just like, oh my, like I didn't even know like any of this existed, and like now here's this entire world that like,
Yeah.
and there's always so much left that I can like explore and like find new shows to watch and stuff.
Okay.
And the Marvel one, I was like, oh man, like I can be a part of it. Like that one was fun, but it also made me really sad because like I didn't see like any of the Avengers in theaters.
Yeah, I meant to bring that up.
Yeah. So like every single time that I come across like a theater reaction video to Endgame, I watch it because I'm like, I wasn't here for that. Like I remember the day that my boyfriend went to go see it because he texted me at like 6 p.m. and was like, okay, we're going to the movie. Like it's like 3 hours long. And I was like, okay, have fun. And then he texted me at like 11:15 and was like, Sarah, oh my God. And I was like, okay, like it was a good superhero movie. Like, and then I watched Endgame, obviously, like during lockdown, and I like I wept at the end of that movie. Like,
Yeah.
the last like 20 minutes just sobbing.
That was a cultural event, honestly. That's going down in history.
Yeah.
Like just Captain America picking up the hammer. He picked that up for the culture. Like that was impactful.
So I have a question.
What's up?
Do you think that in Age of Ultron, when he tries to pick up Mjolnir and it budges, do you think that he purposefully didn't pick it up all the way and just moved it to fuck with Thor? Like, do you think he was like trying and then was like pretending like he was struggling and then just budged it a little bit?
I feel like, I don't know. There's like evidence for both.
Yeah.
Because I feel like when he picks it up and it budges a little bit, he smiles and he's just like, can't do it. It looks like he's faking. Like it looks like
Right.
It looks like he knows he could pick it up.
He went into that going, this thing's gonna move.
But at the same time, you're fighting Ultron. Why not pick up the hammer at that point then? Like, if you really could. Obviously, like, the hammer's being used by other people, but,
Right.
like, they're switching back and forth. It's like, why not hop in that juggle, that mix of, like...
Maybe he didn't want to steal Thor's literal thunder. I'll be here all week, folks. Because Thor didn't have the other one.
Stormbreaker.
Yeah. He didn't have that one yet, so maybe he was like, well, I can't take his one thing. Like, I've got the shield, he's got that. Like, I'll just...
I don't know. Have you heard the theory that he wasn't actually worthy until he confessed to Iron Man that Bucky killed his parents?
Oh, I hadn't.
Yeah, so that's it. That was the theory.
Oh.
But yeah, so the theory is that like that after that happened, that's what made him worthy. So that's why he was able to pick it up after.
Gotcha.
And that also makes sense. So I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, I saw someone posting about like him just pretending to not be able to lift it on like Twitter like a week or so ago, and I was like, I never even once considered this as an option, but like that's fascinating.
Yeah, I feel like that's a coin toss. Honestly, I don't know. Ah, man. But all right, so that's pretty much who we are, right?
That is who we are.
Do you feel like there's anything ever at all that you didn't talk about that needs to be thrown out there, like who you are, and that you're a One Piece fanatic?
We've made it 53 minutes, and I haven't brought it up.
All right, so we have a thing, an insider that is no longer inside because you're about to know. We have a timer, and every single time Sarah mentions One Piece, we're gonna have a bell go off or something. We should really make it a drinking game.
We should.
Except I don't drink, so like I don't know, NyQuil or something. It's about to be like my last like whatever.
Yeah, I'll be drunk and you'll be not conscious.
I'll be in memory. So, but one could argue that you started as soon as the show started because you have One Piece. You verbally said One Piece.
That's fair. Yeah.
So, well, I don't know. We'll let the fans decide. The fan, the one person watching. Thank you, Asia. But all right, I would say, to answer the question that I asked you a minute ago, I would say probably all are relevant, like my canon events, but I think gaming was the most relevant to me because that's like the biggest gateway. Like, I don't know if I'd be a anime watcher or into comics if it wasn't for video games, because that's kind of what got me into fantasy in general.
Gotcha. So I mean that definitely makes it easier if you grew up with like games and like fantasy worlds. Then it's easy for you to watch an anime that's like about a fantasy world. You're like, oh, okay, this makes sense. Whereas me, I was like, what do you mean they're ninja? Like, what? What is the power? Like, what am I looking at here? Like, what are they doing with their hands? Like, I needed to watch a couple that were just like, there's people, and this is what they're doing, and it's all normal. And I was like, okay, great.
So, what would you say for someone who's getting into anime, or like someone who wants to get someone else into anime? Like, what would you recommend?
Like shows?
Yeah. Like, what kind of show would you recommend?
I mean, I would say, like, as if they're not like big on like the fantastical aspects of things, and they don't want to learn like a whole like power system, then start with like, I don't know, like Death Note, because like there's Shinigami, but like
it's pretty straightforward. And basic. Yeah. Okay.
Or I don't know, like Erased, because there is time travel in that, but I feel like that's a pretty basic concept to wrap your head around.
I feel like with those shows, those aren't really like, they obviously are anime, but it's more so, those are shows that could be very easily live action, which they are, but
we don't talk about the Death Note live action.
So I've never actually seen it, so I can't speak on it.
Don't. At least
I won't speak on it.
At least not the Netflix movie. Don't ever do that to yourself.
Okay. But I would say, since those are like pretty simple and straightforward, those are pretty easy to get into. Whereas something like One Piece or like, I don't know, Fairy Tail or something, where it's like, really fantasy based. So it's kind of like that, like you kind of have to be into fantasy to like, get into
you have
those.
to already know, like, okay, this is a thing that anime does sometimes. Like, a lot of shows have like this whole world that is not like our world. So like there's a whole, everything is different. Which I think for me, for a long time, was a lot harder to like wrap my head around.
Okay.
So that's why I started with a lot of like the basics. And because I mean, for a long time, I didn't even want to watch One Piece because I was like, they look so stupid. Like, what is this world? Like, what do you mean he's made of rubber? Like, what is this?
That's fair. I'm in that boat now, but I'll get there one day, maybe. All right, so we're reaching the end of the show. Every single episode, we're going to end with one hot take that's super random. Okay. So it could be about anything ever. It doesn't even have to be nerd related. It could be about, I don't know, Michael Jordan. It could be about, he's my go-to. I think about him a lot. It could be about anything. So give me a hot take that you will stand on. You will die for.
About anything.
Anything.
My brain went like 6 different directions. Okay, I was thinking about this one when I was driving over here, so I'm going to just say it now so I get it out of my...
Get out there.
Daenerys' character was not ruined at the end of Game of Thrones. That is exactly who she was supposed to be. From day one, she said, I will take what is mine with fire and blood, and she did. I don't know why everybody was so surprised. She was not subtle. That is what she was supposed to do. You can not like it, and that's fine, but don't say that her character was ruined, because it wasn't.
I don't like that. So, definitely something to think on. I'm gonna have to sleep on this one, because as a very vivid season 8 hater, you're not wrong. I don't think. But are you right? That's $1 million question. Okay, I'm gonna let that marinate.
All right.
I just want to also say we have our own opinions. So attack her for her opinions and attack me for mine. Okay, all right. I respect the hotness of the take.
Listen, it is as hot as the dragon's fire, and you know what?
Bars. Okay, I see you. All right. This is my hot take.
All right.
And this one's a little tough for me to admit, but I need you to hear the entire thing.
Okay.
Before you judge me.
Okay.
I strongly believe that if Chadwick Boseman was alive, which really sad that he's gone, if he were alive, I do not believe Black Panther 2 would be any better of a film. At all.
You think it would be as good as Wakanda Forever was?
I think it would be as good. Whatever you rated Wakanda Forever, I think I think Chadwick Boseman would be, like, the movie would be just as good.
Yeah. Okay. I see that.
Reason being is because Marvel as a whole went on a downhill.
Yeah.
You look at what I consider one of the best films in the MCU, Doctor Strange, the first one, absolutely amazing. No notes.
Yeah.
The sequel, absolutely garbage. Bunch of notes.
Including the music notes they fought with at one point.
I like that. That was good. Okay, yeah, give me a high five for that. That was solid. Yeah, okay. Yeah, there's a lot of, like, movies that quality-wise have degraded because of, I'm assuming, writing. Because you look at Doctor Strange and Thor, both movies have, like, pretty much the same exact cast with, like, the exception of the main villain.
Yeah, and let's not even talk about Ant-Man Quantumania, because
we won't. Ant-Man, and then you look at Eternals, which that's the movie I don't want to talk about.
No, we don't have to.
But yeah, we won't. We'll just acknowledge that it exists.
This is a safe space from the Eternals.
100%. So I think with Chadwick, I think it would be a different movie. 100%. Yeah. It won't be a 2-hour long funeral.
Yeah.
But I think I don't see it being much better. I think it would just be different. And I think people would say this movie is a 7 out of 10, just like they did with everything else.
I agree with that, because I think that those movies, like, the amount of care and detail that went into, like, the story and every aspect of them, like, it would have been the same had he still been alive for it. So I agree.
The movie, I think originally it was supposed to be about him and his son navigating and trying to, like, connect in lost times and whatnot. Which, yeah, it's sad because, like, you know, what happened. But that's basically Thor: Love and Thunder. Not basically, it was actually pretty different. But, like, Thor has a daughter now. Like, it's like, all of these films are pretty much about setting up the next generation. Yeah. And I think Black Panther, it still would have been, I think, about Namor, like, featuring him as the villain. Mm-hmm. It just wouldn't have been sad. I feel like that's the only difference.
Yeah. It would have been very, like, uplifting and, like, inspirational.
It would have been I assume it would have been the same feel as the original Black Panther.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which, I guess, a second hot take to that, because everyone's pretty divided on that film. I liked it a lot.
People are divided on the first Black Panther?
No, the second one.
Oh, why?
They call it Wokanda because it's woke. Because women.
So people are divided on it because misogyny.
That's a part of it.
And probably racism.
100% racism. But at least the racism was consistent because they didn't like the first one either because of that.
That's fair. Listen, they're nothing if not consistent.
Yeah, I give props to that. Yeah, a lot of people said it was woke. A lot of people said the story wasn't that good, or that. I think the biggest complaint is that Chadwick should have been replaced.
No.
I think that's a bad idea for multiple reasons.
Yeah.
I think the number one, because a lot of people will talk about how other movies have replaced their actors, and, like, even in the MCU, the Hulk got replaced, Rhodey's character got replaced, Thunderbolt lost.
That's not big. I mean,
yeah.
Let's be honest. That was a stupid reason, but we got Don Cheadle out of it, so, like, it was an upgrade.
Right.
Like,
I would say the difference between, like, those characters is that none of them were that established. I didn't even know I didn't even know Don Cheadle was playing the same character, to be honest.
Right.
Because, like, I didn't even know his name until, like, the second or third film.
Yeah, until it was Don Cheadle.
Right.
And you were like, oh, okay, that's who this is.
Right. Like, I had no idea. Chadwick was in 4 films.
Yeah.
He was established as hell.
Right.
So I feel like it'd been weird to, like, replace him and, like, show, like, another character or whatnot.
Yeah. And I think, like, before that movie came out, there were people talking about, like, asking people on the film if they were going to replace him, and they were like, no.
Yeah.
Which I really appreciated, because I feel like it's all about, like, who's the next Spider-Man? Like, who's the next Superman? Yeah. And I don't, like, Spider-Man is one thing. Because
Yeah.
anyone can wear the mask. That is known about
That's
Spider-Man.
been stated. Yes.
Yes. And everyone who has worn it has been amazing.
Right.
But to be in the same universe, not a separate timeline, not a
Right.
separate whole story, like continuing the same story with a different person, it would have just cheapened it, I think.
That was my next point.
Yeah.
It's the fact that like it's within the same universe. Like you look at all the other people who've been replaced, the entire franchise got replaced though, or like
Right.
reset.
Yeah.
So it's completely different than like I don't know, Superman or Batman or
Right.
whatever.
And like some of the changes made sense. Like obviously now Sam Wilson being Captain America makes sense because Steve couldn't still do it when he came back after living
Right.
his whole life. So like that, like it was like handing the baton. It wasn't like something happened to Chris Evans and he couldn't do it anymore. And they were
Right.
like, well, we'll just throw Anthony Mackie in here. Like,
Yeah, I don't know. I like the way it went down. And
Yeah.
plus, like at the end of the film, you realize his son's name is T'Challa. So like which in my mind, I think that's pretty much them setting up for like a time skip or something.
Yeah, maybe.
And his son becoming growing up and
Yeah.
becoming next Black Panther or something. So
yeah.
I
Oh my
don't know.
God. When they revealed his son, that was like the 4th time in that movie that I just started sobbing. I was like,
yeah,
"Oh."
it was a sad day. I didn't cry, but like I almost shed a gangster tear. I ain't gonna lie.
I openly sobbed. As soon as the Marvel thing started and it was silent and it was all him, lost it. And then at the very end when it said like to our friend Chadwick Boseman, lost it. And then they turned on the lights in my theater and I said out loud, why are they turning on the lights right now? And then some white dude like 3 people down from us like looked at me funny and I was like, why are you here? Like, if you're not feeling anything, what are you doing here? Like,
get out of here. That's funny. But all right, I'm gonna go watch Black Panther because I it's been a while.
Yep.
I feel like I need to go do that. And as for you guys, thank you for tuning in with us for our first episode. This is like the 4th time we recorded it, but you didn't need to know that, so I wish I didn't.
now you do, and that just shows how insanely dedicated we are to getting it right.
Right, we are trying. We're working. Let us know if you're watching on YouTube. What you would consider your canon events for becoming the type of nerd that you are now. And if you're not a nerd, what are you doing with your life?
Yeah,
You
and-
need to have a canon event now.
And if you have a hot take, drop it in the comments. Let us know. We want to hear them.
Yes, we are open to criticism. We might not like it or respond, but we're open to it. I'm Moya Media.
And I'm PortGas D, Sara.
We're going to talk to y'all later. Peace.
Watching
Yeah.
from Medusa, you know money seduces. It'll make you douche, it'll make you throw the deuces. Careful what you wish, it might be what you